What's up, Bird Gang? Donnie here, and welcome to Season 3 of Back of the Bird. We're really excited for Season 3, and we have some new features this year that we're really excited about. First, we're excited to launch our new YouTube channel, which you're obviously viewing here. We were lucky enough to record our first in-person interview and also our first video recorded interview, which you're about to see with Sean Gillies and Dan MacRae. Now, it was our first interview, and we definitely have some things to learn from a technical side, so we will get that cleaned up. There are a few jumps in the program today, as you will see, but I think it's a great interview with some really hilarious stories from Gildog and from Dan recently off their Minto Cup victory. Now, before we start Season 3, I want to give a huge shout-out, first of all, to the Bird Gang. You've been with us from the beginning, and we hope you'll be with us for, hopefully, a long and successful future. I also want to give a shout-out to Cottage Springs. Some great merchandise, check it out. And they were really integral to what we do here, and thank you to them for their continued support. And also Lucky Penny Media. They're the best in the business at what they do, social media marketing. If you need anything in that space, give them a shout. They're great people, and more importantly, they're great at what they do. Let's get into it. This is Season 3. We're so excited. Get your Back of the Bird merch, hats, shirts, sweaters all available now. We're so pumped for this season. We hope you'll enjoy every show, but this one in particular, a great one. Let's get into it. This is episode 92 of Back of the Bird.
Great. Thanks, boys. This isn't the Minto podcast. This is the Sean Gillies podcast. So I just want to get that cleared up. So it's an honor to be here.
Well, yeah, I guess, we had to win a Minto to get on here, guys. So, hey, happy to be here. Finally.
So what's going on? How are we feeling after all this has been going on for the last little while?
Yeah, it's been a bit of an adjustment. I got together with Creppy, Curbs, and Keeks yesterday for the first time in 2 weeks, and we just kind of missed each other. Seen each other, and it only been about a week, right? But the past 3-4 months, spending every day together and just working towards it, right? It just became a big part of our life, and so it's a bit of an adjustment now that we've reached there. Kind of what to do, right? The off season's a little tricky.
The old ladies got you guys back.
Yeah.
They're going to be happy with that.
Yeah. I was talking to a lot of guys about it. Was like there's an emotional crash, right?
It's like you reach this high, especially I think kind of mentioned this a couple times. Just in the game of lacrosse, you win. And you fly home, and then it's kind of over. And it was like the Minto, the man, all these things are so grueling. And then you win, and they explode, and then it's almost more like depression. Almost that's kind of down there now.
Yeah. It's playoffs each round. It's every other day, right? And then you're planning for the next round, and then we're going to the Minto. Flights get canceled. And trying to figure that all out, and you're there. And then it's every single day. And then you're back in the cubicle on Monday, or Gil's back in this office, right? And trying to just adjust and get back to normal life. So the body crashes, the emotions crash, and you got to try to get back to baseline. But I think all of us are texting. We're like, so what do we do now?
Yeah.
What do you do on the weekends to have them back? So it's been an adjustment.
You went to Orangeville and started playing there. Did you play underage, a year early? Didn't you leave midget or something?
Yeah, so I left my second year midget, played field, and then I was like, there was some differences there, and so I left to play junior B, and so I'm playing in that Spartan preseason tournament.
Love that tournament.
Yeah.
That's a gritty one. You just said that, I could smell the arena.
Yeah, so we're playing Six Nations, and a guy gets hit from behind. Well, one of their guys gets hit from behind. He gets up. He thought it was me. I'm like, no. It was 650. He rips my helmet off and put my hands up. And instantly just pops me right in the face. I'm like, oh, God. So we're fighting. And I get him against the glass. And I just headbutt him. Right?
So I get tossed out, you know, I'm in
How
there.
many games?
5 games. Yeah. I'm in there crying, like I'm emotional, right? Young kid. I'm like, what's this happen? Don't hit me. You know, I'm like, oh, and then yeah, sure enough. But you know, right after, I think it was Mike Knight who ended up being one of your buddies there. Knight was one of my vets, and he got in a fight right away, right after, and like came in the room. He's like, hey man, all good, don't worry about it. So you know, it was really cool. Yeah, that was so. I go to Kenny, you know, get in the car, and he goes, you know, you lead with your face again, you're walking home. But anyway, so that was kind of the start, and then so yeah, I got the nicknames. He called me Psycho. So I guess I thought I was a fighter for a little bit. I learned the lesson the hard way at that, but yeah. Then I played 2 years that year. And then the next year with Danny and the rest of the boys came up. Yeah. And we had a good team. We ended up losing to Elora in the finals there, Ontario finals. Like their goalie broke his leg, and then he became no one could score on him. Like it was crazy. Orangeville ended up losing to him anyway. So he got better with a broke. I lost it.
4x4 days.
Yeah.
Then he can't move. They just taped it to the post.
Yeah. Literally, they had really like they had a stack.
Goggins too.
Yeah, they had a stacked team.
We beat Rosie was the goalie for Orangeville.
Yeah, Rosie was the goalie.
The round before that, right?
Yeah, so they beat. Sorry, Elora beat them.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Orangeville was supposed to win that series.
Yeah.
But the broken leg happened.
We had
right?
sauce.
That's right. We had the sauce. So we thought we had the team to do it. Anyways, so I went down to prep school, and that was back in the day when Mississauga and Burlington were like 0-20 and 1-19, right? So it was crazy. Like
Suffering through some of those years.
yeah. So guys were going to 4 days.
He's got a 15 GAA.
If you look at my GA, it's actually pretty decent. My claim to fame is in those 3 years. It would have been maybe year 2. Probably the best game I ever played against St. Catherine's when they were just stacked.
Yeah.
Vino, 8th energy. We lost 7-5.
Oh.
Kept them to a stack.
Okay.
I'm sure all those boys were like hungover.
That's his one thing.
Yeah.
Just a couple block shots.
Yeah, 7-5 against St. Catherine's.
Don't forget the day.
Hang my hat on that one. That's former goalie.
So then you go up to you go to Orangeville instead of going to Burlington. Kind of what
Well, it was either to stay because everyone was staying back to make a run at it, or got the opportunity to go up there, right? So,
Were you free agent?
so it was a direct release, so it was a direct release.
Did you have to talk to Burlington?
Now I'm trying to remember if we were affiliated at that time, and it wasn't my dad. It wasn't my dad that was the GM because Garrett Ince got drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a direct release from Oakville up there. So yeah, Cleveland, DJ Cleveland actually reached out to me, like just saying, hey, would you want to come up? Maddie's interested. And
Tampering.
Yeah, that's
but anyways, so we started talking, and I was like, it's a cool opportunity. So yeah, I hopped on it, right? So yeah, it was
nice. So and then was it your first year there? You guys won Minto?
no, my third year.
Third year.
Third year, yeah. So the first year, so Danny and the boys got it done with the Buzz, which was awesome. But that was like, oh man, looking back at it, I was like, okay, did I make the right decision, right? But because again, it was tough to leave the Buzz boys. Like it was tough to leave when the Hawks guys when I left, right? And then I talked about Niter and but it was Beatty and the core guys in that Buzz group were awesome. And then it was also now all the guys my age coming up, right? So it was tough, really tough to do that and leave all those boys. But the guys up in Orangeville, they took care of me. It was a really good experience for me up there. I had a lot of it was essentially like going up to a cottage every weekend, right? Staying up there for the weekend, and I stayed a lot at like Suthi's and Harney's and Teats' place there, and all the guys up there, Rosie, all the fellas, right? Like it was a really good group, and I know there was an option to come back, and when everyone went to Burlington, but it was tough, right? You know, I really, you know, I loved the coaches and I loved, you know, the experience up there, right? So it made it worth the decision.
I was going to ask, sorry, John, that here, I saw actually some of those quotes you recently talking about how you kind of learn things from different championship teams that you've been a part of. And, you know, we'll get to the Minto later, and I kind of want to hear your perspective maybe a little later. But and obviously, that Orangeville team, those teams were loaded talent-wise. But what did you kind of take from those teams? Like, what was special about those teams? And that's just as someone being a part of it, what made you guys kind of so good?
Yeah, so we won. We won my third and fourth year, and they kind of, you know, it was a different approach to it. Our first year when we went out in Calgary. You know, it was more like, you know, we ran like 3 lines of 4, and it was a lot of guys that were, you know, 20 to 30 goals, right? We played fast. We weren't the biggest. Like, I was one of the taller guys, right? I'm not a tall man. Yeah. But, you know, that's where, and it was just it was almost an old school kind of format, right? You know, playing both O and D, but we played fast, right? And it was a style that hadn't been done in a while. Also helps, you know, having Rosie back there as well.
On a 4x4.
Yeah, you know, for sure. But you know, it was a really tight crew. You know, our 88 group, and you know the guys before us too. Like when I went up there, right? You know, when I came in, it was, you know, DV, Kirky.
Did you play with
Matty Lyons? Yeah, Matty. I played with Matty for 2 years, and then a little bit later with the Monties. But
just to explain, by the way, because you have viewers who are American or maybe newer.
Yeah.
4x4, smaller net, right? And you guys played through basically the transition of small to big nets, right?
yeah.
Was it the year after you guys would have finished with the new nets came in?
Or was it was there last year?
No, our last year had it.
Last year.
Yeah.
Didn't help me. But yeah.
So wasn't Rosie's goals against average that last year with the 4x4s like hilarious? Like 4 or 5 goals a game.
It's like under 5.
Yeah.
Ask him, he'll know.
Burlington did have one good game against them, though.
Rosie's back there.
Yeah, we beat Orangeville once in Junior A.
It was a good whip, and it was our IT coaches came down to.
Was that at Central? Matty Hicks shooting from the parking lot?
Yeah.
I remember that game.
Yeah, Crappy actually almost had a hat trick. I caught it for his hat trick. But yeah. He had 2. But yeah.
Well, and the one thing too, I mean, there was the first Minto. I was told I had to ask you about this one. Was there did you score a game tying goal or a game winning goal or something to get to the Minto?
Oh, going out there, yeah. There was against Nations. Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember exactly when though. But yeah, I seem to have some decent success always playing against Nations. Yeah. So yeah, there was some goals there.
A big goal, and then I mean the never-ending fight. Let's walk through just the story of this one, and then we can kind of jump into maybe a couple off-floor stories, and then we'll get to our Blazer in here.
Yeah.
So you guys are playing Six Nations. It was in Orangeville. I think I've seen this video, and this is.
I'm sure you've seen it.
Full on line brawl, and you've got no gear on by the end of it. It just was never ending. Was it that one?
Yeah. Okay. So the Chancey. Yeah. So that was my 5th year, and we were playing Nations. I think it was playoffs. And we knew there was a fight before, I believe, Gamble went and got in a fight.
Yeah.
And then we knew all the 5th year guys went out. I think Suti was in the box. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, so everyone goes to match up. I probably should have done my homework. Didn't know who I matched up against. But, hey, we're home floor. It was in the bunny barn.
Yeah.
We're going.
The adrenaline's going.
Yeah, no problem. My early days of thinking I was a fighter, I was like, I must have forgot how long.
You're already trying to time up the headbutt.
Yeah. Nations. Oh, I know the story. I can do this, right? So
imagine it was Chancey. You had butted him in the Spartan and he got you back.
Full circle.
That's how the season's going. Yeah, Cinderella story. Yeah.
Chancey on his ass. You get him, but
Anyway, so we all kind of, square off, and I go at center floor. And I knew I was in trouble when, he goes full gear down, like jersey off and everything. He's got the cutoffs. I'm like, oh, I got the jersey still on. Anyways, the floor was a little wet that day. That's what we're going to go with. But anyways, so we start going, and there's, I take a few in the beginning. Yeah. And continue to do so, right?
You were the Energizer bunny that just wouldn't quit.
Yeah, that's it. Thankfully, for some reason, my mom and dad weren't there for that game. I don't know what it was. They had something because they came to all the other playoff games, but that was probably for the best. But hey, listen, you just got to keep going, right? It's I don't remember the full thing, but hey, listen, it's
came back in and it was still punching.
Yeah, it's not over. Put another coin.
I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, put another coin in the machine and keep going, right? But hey, it's what you do. Yeah. I mean, would I do it again? 100%. Right? Yeah. I wouldn't hesitate. I'd probably fight a little differently. Try to fight a little differently, but other than that, hey. And you know what? Went to the hospital, right? Got stitched up. Yeah. Boys came. It was my first time getting stitches there in Orangeville. Went back at it for the next game. So that fight's been shown to me by like hockey guys from like freaking like that are like in Europe. Like my buddies will send us like, "Is that you?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just, never ending." But hey,
I think it was graduated.
Yeah,
that's my brother.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we can sell that one. But being able to finish. That's to bring that up. Like my brother was cool, right? Like having him come up and finishing my last year, and just talk about that kind of Cinderella story, right? Like we picked up Damon. So my brother wasn't playing a lot in the last kind of playoffs, the last couple like round or two. And then Damon got hurt. And we went to game 3 against Brampton, right? And it's kind of funny because I'm not sure if my brother put that in his, but he talked about my dad, saying, my dad's like, "Hey, I got a feeling you're going in tonight, right?" And sure enough, he got the opportunity. I got to finish my last game with junior with really cool. With my brother winning, right? Like it's like fuck, I can't ask for it.
You scored that game, maybe?
I don't know.
I did.
He told the story though, but it's super cool.
Yeah,
I did. I know I didn't, but I think I remember if he did. Because you probably would keep telling me. Maybe did he score an empty net?
I don't know.
I'm
sure he's good. I mean, he'll be commenting.
Yeah, he'll comment. But anyways, you can't ask for anything more than that. So pretty cool. So it was a really good time. I couldn't think like that's like people up there. Yeah. Took me in as like one of their own, and hey, it was a great experience, right? So I made a lot of friends, and you make a lot of friends when you're winning that. Like Donnie, like you can attest to that, right? So it's it's definitely a cool experience, and that's what I'm just so happy, with our core guys in our group now in Burlington that they have that because they can never take that away from you, right? So it's really cool.
Love it. I mean, speaking of kind of that connection. It's something that you guys obviously had carrying on from Oakville to head down to beautiful Rochester, New York. You got Alex Krepinczek, Jordan McIntosh, you two guys, all coming from Oakville and going down there. Obviously, Brad, your brother, went there too. But let's talk a little bit about your days down there. I mean, my memory. What was the name of that bar? TC
Riley's.
Just the stories of you when you were bartending there and
Sean worked under me. He was my bar back.
Was he?
Yeah. That's how it started.
There's some stories guys have with like their recruiting trips and you're there drinking for 8 hours, you get a bill and it's $2.50. You gotta just tip them heavy and move on with your night. But what was it like kind of having all of you guys go to school together down in Rochester?
It was great for after games and the games. It wasn't great for the academics, obviously, as we both had to spend a little extra time to get a diploma.
They can't take that hospitality away from you.
Hospitality management.
Yeah, no, I was my MBA. That wasn't an MBA, but it was, we'll call it that.
Yeah, no, Sean was there first. I did 2 years at Potsdam State. 2 years of hard time, as we call it. That was like middle of the dog days. The time was so cold, middle of nowhere. Like one day we're on like MSN Messenger. I'm like, Sean, you got to get me out of here. I was like, get me out of here. And it was like the next day I got a call from Tony Levin at RIT. And I was all over. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And then Creppy was coming in as a freshman that year. Yep. So Crep was in the freshman dorms. Sean was a junior. I'm a junior, but at RIT, you have to be on campus on your first year there. So Shawnee's off campus in a house with MJ.
Okay. No. That's not how it works. You don't have to be on campus. Dan had a room in this house that. All right. So.
I thought I'd get that one by.
So I was there first 2 years, and then MJ actually came in the year after me. So that's where me and Keeks, one of the fellow Canadians. So that we had a couple other Canadians that were there, Foley and Brad Conlon. So Brad, I think he holds the record of most time at RIT. I think he did that
PhD.
8-year undergrad. But anyways, he was our goalie 1 year, and then he became our coach. The Darb, and that's where Barb actually came from.
He's from Darb.
Yeah, so So anyway, so we had a couple Canadians already, and then like Dan said, him and Crep came in that following year, and myself and MJ weren't in exactly good standings with the school, so we were going to move in the place where we ended up finishing together.
Yeah.
But his parents were like, you can't live that far away from the campus. We don't have a car, so we ended up finding this little, it was like a dollhouse. It was like right across from TC's. Yeah. And it had go in the back of this forest. It had this abandoned barn. Really strange house. But Dan was supposed to live in the main floor. Me and Keeks upstairs with this other guy named Joel. His dad was a born-again Christian, so he was just son of a preacher,
You need that guy in the group.
You thought he was turning us, we turned him.
Yeah. Everyone home. Yeah, so Dan comes to check out the room with his mom, and his mom's like, Dan's out. My Danny's not living there.
You just put this rule and you gotta live like it.
Yeah, my Danny's
That's what they told me.
Yeah, my Danny's not. So he ends up getting a place directly right across
the street.
Perkins, where it's a 2-bedroom, but you have a roommate. But the golden boy somehow manages the roommate that he was supposed to have doesn't show up. So he gets his own room in this place. Right. And now I get Saul. That's me and MJ's new roommate. He's so it was a strange there was
who is this guy?
No. That's another guy. So now I got Joel, Saul, and MJ. And MJ liked to go hang out with his now wife's place a lot. So I got anytime the next morning when after we had people there and we were the parties happened and all that, and then I just got the wrath of them. Yeah. He'd go hide.
We had some just weird, crazy parties, beer Olympic parties we had there.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're Team Canada, Crap, MJ, Gillies, myself, and then all the Americans make their own teams, right? And obviously, we kind of turn all the events in our favor. Sean's really good at that. To make sure that we win. So we're doing that. There's Sal and Joe looking out the window.
Early.
We bought those airsoft guns, pellet guns. We had these wars there, and anything you can think of that made these guys' days rough.
Play beer pong. I was just gonna say, finally some redemption for that. Sounded cool.
Did you guys do the beer Olympics? Yeah. All right, thanks, Mackie. Elaborated on that one.
I was just thinking about a beer pong tournament. Yeah, we played at a beer pong tournament.
Halloweens were always really good. The one year we did Trailer Park Boys, and not just the four of us, but
no, we had the whole crew.
The fringe characers.
Mackie was what's his name?
Corey
Trevor,
Smokes, let's go.
Yeah.
the girlfriends even got
girlfriends
involved.
were
Ricky's wife. I think somebody was right in the wheelchair.
You can't do that.
This one year I'm bartending there, so I'm working, and they're like, okay, you gotta dress up with whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like this storm blows the door down, and these 8 guys that are just 3 sheets to the wind, coming. You guys were the clowns.
Oh yeah, Guzzo and friends. Yeah.
Guzzo the clown.
Guzzo and friends.
Yeah, I spent like 2 hours getting ready to that makeup. Dark times.
He enjoyed the makeup a little too much.
That's like the scene in The Joker, and he's just putting the fucking
Something like that. Buffalo Bill there a little bit, yeah. I actually
that song. It's
Goodbye Horses. It's a favorite of mine.
Yeah, I've heard you play that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I had the clown costume I had was my girlfriend at the time. It was her dad from the 70s. So it was like a legit.
Oh, it's a scary. That's a scary clown. Sean walking home from the bar, scaring everybody out.
Yeah.
I wonder how they found each other.
Yeah. Halloween's. I think me and Crep got in a fight that night too.
That sounds about right.
Oh yeah, so that we did actually, because there was always kind of the rankings on the totem pole, right? Guys can bully a little bit, not bully, but friendly competition.
Posturing. Yes.
Yeah. But anyways, he tried to take a stand on me that night, and in the clown, and I was like, he's like, you won't.
Going at it.
Yeah, he's like, you won't hit me. I'm like, okay, and I give him one, and his like clown is on the wall in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, there's a broken laptop. It's just a
noise that makes a noise and goes flying across the room.
Still served him.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun, and you know what? With the parents did too, right? Keek's dad, and then Gary, my dad, and Tony, and Rick, the whole McIntosh family. So those tailgates, I mean, I think they had more fun than we did. And it was always Wednesday nights were their home games, right? So they'd come down every Wednesday, and
don't forget Suits was there for couple months.
Suits, yeah. Suits, he was
changing every semester.
yeah, he was
Get a good feel for him.
he got the one Halloween. He was Officer Leahy. He got it. Was he?
Crep was late.
Oh, he was Randy. He was Randy. That's right.
Crep had like a pantyhose.
That's right.
over the top of his head.
So the best thing was Trailer Park Boys wasn't that big yet. It just kind of got to Netflix, but all the hockey guys. So RT has a lot of Canadian hockey guys, and so the thing is, we get to the bar and everyone's like, and we kind of start splitting up. So everyone's like, "What are you guys dressed like?" We look like.
Crep's got pantyhose on his head.
Yeah, I did the Ricky. Oh my god! And then we start trading with each other's outfits. So it's like it was a disaster.
That's good.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for sure.
Go ahead.
It's just weird that group didn't win at RIT, and now they're just taking down championships.
Yeah.
But we paved the way for it, right?
Yeah. The floodgates opened, But yeah, it's then Alistair, my brother, Elliot, and then Aquin, and there was, you go on now. It's frigates. It's pretty. It's 20 plus Wilkie. So we knew Wilkie before, but Wilkie took over the offense, and Jake Kuhn. It was our last year, right? So those two guys, fantastic job. Cooners, he puts the work in. It's impressive, And then Wilkie's style of offense, right? It was good for myself, and play fast and a little bit more Canadian style, right? But we had you close.
You the choir by ASFL alumni.
Yeah, we had you close. I thought, right? You thought you were coming, but then you wanted the hotel service.
My housing deposit was paid. They pulled me in with that. I'll never forget that. Coburn's townhouse there. We had one of the all-time day drinks, and then what's the coach's name there? The older guy.
Oh, that was Conlon. Brad.
No.
McKee.
Oh, McKee, yeah.
McKee showed up to the party late at night to give Mackie a pep talk, because Mackie hit 7 crossbars against the As that day and was so rattled in himself. Pulled him out of the party to talk to him, and I'm just standing there in the street watching the conversation. I'm like, this is awesome. and then that's when I looked in, and MJ Keekabau, for those who don't know, he's pouring beers on the floor in the kitchen, and then olive oil on the floor, and then takes the head of a broomstick off and just has the broomstick pull, and anyone that walked up the basement stairs to try to go through the kitchen would start slipping, and then he would just start slashing as
No days off.
No days off.
Hey, first team All-American, man. He was the first team All-American.
That match day, he had no less than 1,000 ground balls during that game, and I think he probably had 2 goals and an assist or something.
Yeah, he was a hell of a field player, man.
But I guess, kind of going off the back of that with the different stories, walk us through. We've talked about it a few different times in this podcast, how the racing stories happened. How did the running races get kicked off? And maybe walk us through kind of the most memorable one that sticks out.
The first one was a Gillapalooza, wasn't it?
No. Actually, the first one was in Orangeville, straight up Main Street, and we were running for the McDonald's, and it's against my brother, and he was chirping me about something, and I'm like, all right, we'll run right to whatever that, right before the McDonald's there, and losers got to buy the McDonald's. So I'm like, but I go shirts off.
Yeah.
Gaffer in.
And how did you introduce and get away with the running start?
Well,
Giveaway.
it's not a running. It's
running. So you don't know. There's a start line. The other person's at the start line.
Yeah.
You start 10 yards back of the start line.
Not 10 yards. Listen, you're like my brother right now. So it all depends on what race we're looking at here, but it's about momentum. It's not a head start. It's about a head momentum. So when I say I get 5 strides behind you, when I hit your back foot, you can go.
Right.
So it's not a head start.
It's like a handicap.
Friendly way to say it. Yeah. So I don't think it started with that, when we did it in Orangeville. But anyways, I toasted him there down Broadway, and then it kind of got sat on, I think, for about a year.
Yeah.
And then it was a Gillapalooza. The second race was against my brother, and again Gillapalooza. I remember they went into my mom's pantry and got all the tinfoil out to make a finish line from the lights. So we must have had, I don't know, 80, 100, as a full.
That's legit.
So my brother's wife at the time, it's her first time coming up to visit everybody.
Yeah.
And my brother's saying, "Oh yeah, I'll beat you." I'm like, "Give me odds, come on, man, you're a professional athlete now. I'm out of shape, I'm done." And I'm like, "Give me 3-1 because we want to put some money on it. 3-1, like 3-1. I'll give you 10-1." So now he's trying to big shot me in front of him. And Homer's there. Homer's like, "I'll take that. I'll take that action."
Wow.
And then my brother goes to Alistair too. He's like, "Hey, take the bet. It's free money. It's free money. It's like $20. Take it." So sure enough, my brother bet on himself, and Alistair bet $20. Do the math. There's $400.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't want to beat him, but I just wanted it to be close. But then he goes 10-1. I'm like, all right, man. So the race wasn't until 2 hours. So I try to even the playing field, start doing the mental war games, as we do. And he's in his Nikes, high tops, he's stretching. And I'm just bare feet out, shirt off, gaffer in. And it was crazy. So I don't know how many people were there. Probably almost 100 actually. But there was neighbors that came out on the street that we've lived on that street for 25 years, forever, even longer actually. So I had people come out there that I haven't seen before. There used to be kids. They're all now in their teams. What's going on? I'm like, we're racing. It's so yeah, all right. So I negotiated.
It's midnight.
It's midnight.
It's not noon on a Sunday.
They're going house to house. The neighbors weren't coming out. There's one house that was like, "Hey, can you turn your light?"
Yeah.
What's going on?
So the thing is, you have to also. So Dan's my manager in this too. So
He's Don King.
He makes sure. The distance is right. Because again, distance is very important. Because I don't I'm pretty quick, but
If you get over a certain point, that's when the stride game starts.
It's over, right? So, and how many strides can I get, right? How many can I get away with? It's similar to how many strokes you can do, right? I think it was 3 or 4 strides. So we start going, and we're neck and neck, and that's all I wanted. I'm like, I just wanted to hey man, know?
Yeah, right here.
And so he calls it. He's like, yeah, he tries to put on the turbo boosters. He calls it, and then it's just the Donovan Bailey Johnson race. There he goes down. 1, 2, 3 down, hands down. So I do the turn back.
He's dancing on his green.
Yeah, run through. Homer's like, I need my money, you know. And Alistair, I don't think he had enough. Like he
didn't come prepared with $200.
He had to go.
He's probably 24 years old.
Oh, he's young. It's a big hit, man. It's like yeah,
full summer.
Yeah, it's like oh man, yeah. So his girlfriend now, his wife. It's all wives now. Went and had to go to the ATM, and then he went home. Like left one of his shoes there, and then my brother went right to bed. I'm like, oh, not a great first look for his wife too, eh? Like, oh, he's all cut up. So that's kind of how it started, and there's been a few. I think it's 9-0. Haven't got that 10.
Who's your favorite opponent to beat?
Well, I beat the whole Crepinset clan. No, I
don't think you could race on that.
No. But like it was Eric in Boston at Whitey's wedding. My mom said that was the most proud she's ever been of me because like all our families were like, "Yeah, you were there. Were you there for the race?" 2 minutes on the most proud I've ever been.
You guys came to early. Me and my brother were in the Man Cup.
That's right. So you came to the bar after, right?
Like, flew in for the wedding, came to the bar, and then
yeah.
We drove to the airport and flew out. We
That's right.
16 hours maybe.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's
Portland. It was
Portland. That was 2 furlongs of a.
It was Alex in Boston.
Sorry, Alex in Boston, Eric in Portland, and then Nick.
Gil travels well.
Nick on his home street. No.
Oh yeah, you beat him right outside of his own house.
I got to pick who I got to walk down Alex's wedding. That one, I smoked him. Yeah, that one was bad. Sorry, Nick. But yeah, there was, the one that could have got me was Chow.
My favorite story.
Chow might have had me.
Get a full name for our listeners.
Yeah. Chow and Rogers, bit of an athlete, bit of a runner. I think he's built for this.
Might have heard of him.
This is the one that's got the asterisks on it.
Yeah,
Still under protest.
Yeah, so it's did not complete. I think that's what we're going with. But anyways, it was Super Bowl. We had a Super Bowl party for the team I was playing with, the Monarchs, at Patty Miles' house there. So I was out there, and then I figured it was a good idea to come out to the mansion after that because I got work in the morning. So
right. And the mansion is the we've talked about it before, but the house that at the time, like all the Toronto Rock guys were living in, just an absolutely stunning house.
Yeah.
Insane property. Where did you guys race? Did you race up the driveway?
No, we went in the snow.
Grass. We went in grass.
Yeah, so it was.
In case anything happened.
But there was snow out.
Yeah.
So I come in there and thinking, oh, who wants to race? Who wants to race? Dan, you should have helped me there, but
we were confident.
We were confident.
Yeah.
We were confident. We were wondering, who would pick or who would put their hand up. Anyways, Chow does. Didn't like the matchup. Try to play some mind games there.
I think this is Chow's rookie year of senior A.
Chow. Yeah, when he had just come back from Stony Brook.
Yeah.
He's ready to rock.
So I'm trying to even the playing field, and it's it's not working. I'm like, shirts off. He's like, yeah. Barefoot, yeah. Barefoot, yeah. I'm like, uh-oh. Anyways, we go and we're barefoot out in the snow, and I didn't gauge this one properly either. I think it was looking like 100 meters. I should have went 60.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's
Anyways, we start racing, and I'm in the lead at the start, right? Quick start, all right. And then he starts pulling ahead. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm looking at him. He's gonna pass. The next thing I know, what's happened? No idea. I'm like, what the heck? I'm on my back. I'm in the snow. I'm like, what's going on? And then there's a group of people around Ebony. I'm like, what's happened there? Anyways.
This is Brett Hickey's girlfriend at the time.
Yeah. So she was a rugby player in Oakville. Anyways, the story goes that she thought there was a game of rugby going. I don't know. Anyways, it was a perfectly executed right on my side of my head.
Form talk. Like,
Form talk.
but it sounded like two bowling balls hit.
Right on my side of my head. And that's like, how can I be mad about that? What a hit.
Open field and Reed finds
And
it.
like, it's like, and everyone's around her like, are you okay? I'm like, what is going on?
What about me?
You know?
Curry and I were rolling on the snow, laughing, just looking at each other.
Anyways, yeah. So you know what though? Like, Brett's sending me messages in the morning. I'm like, hey, it's okay because I think I might have lost that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's probably
That's still under protest.
yeah. So it's
That's a DNQ.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's a saving grace. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that's the second. I guess that's the first story I ever heard of it. But the second time I've seen you execute a full concussion was at my brother's housewarming party when you tried to do the head kick over Alex Krippensuck's now wife Kelsey's head.
Oh, I was because I was wearing those pants. I was trying to be cool because you know Dan's got Looney's got the style, right? The cool Toronto style, whatever. So I was wearing those.
They were like
joggers with the dropped like the long like MC Hammer kind of pants.
This was when Phil Mickelson had just started doing the over everyone's head with the kick. And Sean thought he could execute it, and those pants were way too saggy.
No. Wait, I think I did it. Did I do it twice?
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. And the second one sent her home and put her in a concussion protocol right away.
Wasn't Crep wearing your helmet? So you got to wear that helmet?
I had the Green Bay Packers football helmet from Elliot Coburn. He gifted it to me there. At the beginning of the night, we were eating popcorn out of it, but then at the end,
she had to wear it home.
Crap put it on his head, and he's got a very small head. It's still, isn't it?
When he calls.
That
should be the picture for this episode.
Yeah, when he calls you, he's just swimming in it, like one eye's open. But it was funny because he sent. I think didn't he send her home and he stuck around.
He stuck around.
So he sent her home when she got put in the concussion protocol when Sean kicked her in the
That
head.
doesn't sound like him.
And then Crep stayed at the party, so it was
Accidentally, by the way, kicked her.
The drop crash.
Yeah.
I was gonna say before we get to when we get to some Burlington Minto stories, we just do a quick Cottage Springs.
Yeah.
We got the whole roster here. We got what do we got here?
You got the mixed
sodas, tequila sodas, vodka iced teas.
Yeah, big shout out to them. I mean, we've been dealing with them since forever. And
Stick a little sign behind. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. We got hats.
Anything.
Bucket hats.
And they got all the merch out there too. So if you want to go check out some of the stuff,
Back to Bird merch now that we're video.
yeah, you can see it. We've got it going.
So
So
simple here.
yeah, I was just down in Vermont this past weekend, and brought a bunch of Cottage Springs. Hopefully, no Border Patrol people listen to this, but and all the guys were drinking it, saying, "What is this stuff? How do we get it? What's going on?" And had a case of the vodka waters, and the boys were just shotgunning them, getting primed. So.
What's the next step for that?
I don't know.
They get Ace Beverage getting it down there? Or?
Well, Ace got bought by Corby.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I don't know. Maybe the next step is they try to get into the US, but it's a tough market. A lot of different ready-to-drink stuff down there. But yeah, go grab a case. Also, shout out to Lucky Penny Media. We're gonna release this as just kind of one episode, so appreciate those guys. If you need anything, reach out to them. But maybe kind of just talk to us a little bit about how you guys got involved with coaching. I think that first year was with the Buzz. And I know you'd kind of thought of a timeline of when all this stuff started happening.
Yeah, 2016.
2016.
2016. So how did you guys decide? And at the time, Oakville Buzz was a junior B team. How did you guys decide to kind of take yourselves into coaching?
Well, Sean was coaching there. I think I came back late from Calgary that year, and you and Cammy Watts were coaching with
Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the B's.
Yeah. Yeah, that was So it was actually Cammy. You know, I did 2 years of just coaching some minor in Oakville. Anyways, and then Cammy just gave me a tap one day. He's like, "Hey man, would you want to come and help out? With the Buzz?" And I was like, "Wow, it's a good opportunity, right?" I was like, you don't. So there was an opportunity, opening there. So we're doing the camps. Met Al for the first time. We're doing those. What's it called? the preseason runs or whatever when you got the junior C guys and the junior B guys. And anyways, Danny, you were living in Calgary. You were just coming back, I think, in like April or whatever after the NLL season, right?
Yeah. There's some junior C guys. The first practice, I remember watching like Smith. Ryan Smith is out there.
Sonny,
Jacob
Saunders.
Like
he broke his hand. Like I was like, watched him play that.
Yeah. It's like out there running around like that guy's junior C. I'm like, interesting. All right.
Yeah, he broke his hand early in the tournament, in the preseason tournament. But like, it's like, oh wow, this is gonna be a good player, right? So yeah, Danny, he was coming back. I'm like, we had room on the bench, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of how it started there.
And we had a good run that year. I think we went to the Eastern Finals.
We lost to Gales in 5. And Lukey was on the team.
Yeah,
Lukey. Nick actually. So Nicky Krapensek was our captain. He was a 5th-year guy. Yeah, full circle, right? But it was cool. It was good to get back to the buzz. Kind of revisit the buzz days. And we had a fun coaching staff too there.
Was that when they were playing at Maple Grove?
No, we were playing Joshua Creek now. Then. Yeah.
But so did you guys do 2 years there?
Just
it was one. Yeah, it was one. And then remember we were at the event that your dad puts on, the Bay Street. Right? It was, and Sean's dad Kenny was there with Vince Hunt. We were just chatting, and Vince Hunt was the president of Burlington at the time. And was your dad the GM at the time?
Yeah,
still?
He took over our year in like at the start of the year when we did the buzz. He took over Burlington.
So for the year before, and he just came up in conversation. He's like, "Hey, how would you guys feel about coaching in Burlington?" I was like, "That'd be awesome. Like, played there. That'd be sweet." So yeah, next year, 2017 is when we stepped in, and like Andrew Q was on the team. Callum Jones, Matty Wright.
No,
Bush not yet.
Bush not yet. I think he was still in Georgetown.
Did we pull Smitty up that year?
Pulled Smitty. Well, Kenny sent him down to us in the year, so we got him for the year with the Buzz.
Yeah.
And then we brought him up.
That
year.
He was playing with junior C or junior B in Hamilton.
Yeah, he was doing both. Yeah,
just. It's a good pipeline there. And then we had Lance coming in there. So, some fantastic players. We ended up making playoffs that year, I think, as like the 7th seed or something like that. We traded Q to Mimico.
Our first year, we 5th, and we lost to Whitby. We lost to Whitby.
Whitby in the first round. I don't think, they made playoffs a while. And then the next year, 2018 is when we finished first.
In the history of Burlington, but then we also made some history as well. We don't have to touch on that one.
The first place team to lose in the first round. Yeah, to the beach. And then 2019.
Second by a point. Yeah,
second by a point, and then we end up losing to
Donnie remembers that year. Yeah.
Fast forward.
Donnie helmet playing that year.
I'd be safe. Yeah.
Better safe than sorry, and then it was COVID after that, right?
Yeah.
You guys ended up winning
No.
The Young Guns won, though?
That's where there is a little bit of there's an asterisk on that. Or the Young Guns, we lost to Peterborough in the finals.
But you guys won like last minute in the semis or something, didn't you? Like a dish from behind the net.
Oh no, that was against Orangeville. That was in Orangeville with our other crew.
Yeah. It's like Brooks English to like Chucky Rawson right in front of the net. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Was that our Young Guns or was that
Young Guns? That was semifinals. Yeah.
Yeah, but our other team, there was the first video review ever.
The older age group, we won a game, and then it ended up being a tie, and then there was an overtime. But anyways,
we played immediately after.
Immediately after a game, yeah.
That was nonstop.
First video review in JLL history after a game.
So kept us out of going to the finals for that. But the two teams that we lost to it was St. Catharines and who was it? St. Catharines. Brampton. Those are the two teams we lost to, right? But that's so. Yeah.
Like at this point too, like there was like the changing of the guard, like in the executive too. Like you guys were building all this stuff, and then like Stu Brown leaves, that's when all like the TLL stuff was coming down, and then like Greer C. Cardi, who like you guys played for, kind of take over, and then I kind of get
So there was two meetings. Are we gonna talk about the two meetings?
But then you guys had this stuff building where we had two hard losses, right?
Yeah.
Good teams, but hard losses in the first or second round.
Yeah.
So it's okay, and then there's like these young kids coming up, and that's kind of like, building to what you guys accomplished like this year.
Yeah. I'd say after the COVID year, it was like good transition to like, hey, maybe this is our time to step away. Like, let somebody else take over. I was like, we had coach this futures team. Then I was like looking at the names, like, okay, these kids look pretty good. And then it was like the first few games, like, oh yeah, we got something here. Like Braden Sarris, he was playing with his Hamilton yellow bucket on in that series. It was like lighting it up, and Brooks, English, Chucky Ross, and some of the guys we said. So the pipeline of players was there for sure. And the 2022 year, we had a great run as well. When it was getting hosted, the Mintos hosted in Ontario, we ended up losing to the Beach in a best of 5 in the 5th game. So yeah, we were right there, and then coming into this year, just a few key pieces away that I'm sure we'll talk about to get to the season that we had.
Yeah. It was tough, right? I thought we had, I thought we could have done it in 2018, obviously, and then 2019, losing in the finals, in Game 4, right? To a really good Orangeville team as well, right? So, it was like, getting close there, but we were built to go again for that COVID year, right? And that was kind of deflating, right? And not being able to get that year. And then the year after, kind of that half. So, like what Dan said, right? It's like, okay, can we do do we walk away now? We got close, we put in 4 years, right? What's the thought on it, right? But yeah, the young guns was promising, bringing Keeks in, and then obviously, I got the opportunity. Paulie came to me it was great. It was something that I'm forever grateful for. Dan put his hand up for me and backed me there, and yeah.
No, I think this was kind of like thing now. This was kind of like the first year where you had like full reign as a GM, because last year you kind of had some reign, but then this year was kind of like you had the full reign of being the GM of the team.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
For sure. I'd agree with that. Obviously, how first year.
Kind of like testing it out and like gave you the reins when there was still like a bunch of cooks.
To prove yourself.
No, I think there was a bunch of cooks in the kitchen still.
Yeah,
They were trying to figure out the executive. I think there was just a ton of stuff going
the
on.
role. Yeah, I think it was not even just the GM role, but across the full board, right? Guys figuring out who's gonna do what. Because a lot of the executive too have done the GM role or have coached before, so there was a lot of I think kind of shuffling and like figuring out, all right, who's going to be good here, and also me navigating the GM role. There's a lot. It is a lot. I give kudos to my dad and other people that have done it before. Like it's a big commitment, and first figuring out how to do it all, and then trying to do it well, right? Those are kind of two different steps. So, yeah, I think, last year was a learning curve for sure. Still learning this year, but yeah, I agree with you, Paulie. This year I got to go pretty much full control, and
Thank God,
Just
get out of the guy's way.
But it was, that's, and then Billy and Baldy and the guys, it was I thought the whole group worked really well together, and allowing our staff to do what we wanted to do, that piece of it.
Yes.
And, from an organization, what we put together in a really quick time frame to get us out there, it's pretty impressive. And it's, really grateful for a lot of people that stepped up and put their hands up and worked really well together. A lot of volunteers. The list is long, but like Gare, like he's been there since day one. Casey and MJ's wife, like doing all her social, and there's just a laundry list of people, that helped us, and it was just really special and really impressive, with what we were able to kind of pull together really quickly and get us out there to set us up for success, right? So
obviously there was hurdles and things like that for you guys to get there. Obviously flight trouble, but kind of even before that, like how cool was it for both of you guys to kind of see where it went in the playoffs in terms of turning around, Sean? Obviously you were watching from up top. You got to see, you're watching the game, but you get to see everyone that's there, and Dan, when you're walking out to the bench, and like the kids all around the glass, slamming on the glass, and a full place. Like, how cool is it to kind of think about building almost like an Orangeville, Peterborough type atmosphere for young kids to come to an arena and watch, really good, serious level playoff lacrosse?
Yeah, that's sweet. It was. I find like as a player, sometimes you try to like lock in and not look up at the crowd sometimes, like whatever big games that you're in. But as a coach sometimes, or in GM and in different roles, sometimes you get to step back a little bit. So, I was pretty fortunate to be in that role. And like every time I'd walk to the bench, I'd have like my mom, my aunt, and my 93-year-old grandmother sitting there. Like, they're wearing hoodies.
My girls.
It was like their lucky hoodies, and they were lucky. I think every time they were there, we won. It was unbelievable. But yeah, getting to see them and then just all the old faces, tons of guys that we coached all around the barn, and seeing you guys, and then our dads showing up, and just the community that was kind of built, and then all the kids behind the net doing whatever they were doing, nothing that we told them to do, obviously. We're getting really fired up.
Sorry, Rosie, about that megaphone there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere, though. It's fun, like, getting to hear from other guys being like, I hate the oven. Like, I just hate it. Like, it's the hardest part to play. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Because, like, I hate a lot of places going, like, we never used to win in Orangeville. Like,
tough in Peterborough.
We're always struggling. Whitby, we stink in Whitby. So it's it's cool, like, just hearing other people saying, like, oh, there's some struggles there. And it's just a credit to, to all the players that are coming through there, all the fans that keep coming out in the community, and the support from all the volunteers that put in the effort to make it what it is.
Yeah, I mean, definitely very cool, right? Like, atmosphere is a huge part of it, especially in playoff lacrosse. It's so to see kind of where we've come over the years. I think as far as skill and the team, I think we just were a team that just hadn't won yet. And I've been saying that since 2018, right? It's like we're gonna win. We just got to get there, right? And like even last year. We fought a lot of challenges with injuries and stuff, but I'm like, we were able to ride the waves, get solid at the right time, get healthy at the right time, and came very close, very, very close. So again, going back to making history out with losing to the Beaches, then we went and did the same thing, making history against Mimico, right, sweeping them as the 8th seed. So, I think as far as the type of team that we are, that I think we just had, until you really win, you don't get the respect. And now that we're there, the oven is just, it's going to be a tough place to come and play against, right? So yeah, it was really cool to see where it's kind of gotten to. But I think it's hopefully we can be those Orangevilles, Peterboroughs, and I think we can.
Let's talk quickly about kind of the big trade. Tell me about how's that coming to be, and obviously not ridiculous for you guys down the stretch, but like all the guys who got in the trade were played their each individual role that seemed to have a huge impact.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to start with obviously we did a lot of pickups preseason, wanted to pick up a lot of depth. Knew we were going for it. We wanted 21-year-olds. I thought we got some good pickups, some guys that could help us along the way, and see where the chips fall, right? So Hamilton's been a really good affiliate of ours for years and years. Really good relationship with them, and they've helped give us a lot of good players. And then getting the second affiliation is just something I knew we needed to do, right? I thought that that was definitely an edge when Orangeville beat us in 2019. Donnie helped a bit too. Definitely was definitely something that we wanted to get, and it was great working with them. And fortunately for us, they didn't end up going to advance. And we did get a couple of them during the year, but obviously traveling here's a challenge. Getting into those pieces, then coming into our lineup were great. But to go back to the trades, we were looking for depth out our back door. So we got that with Mimico in our first trade, and getting another goalie, and then the deadline. Kenny was back on the back as my assistant GM. We were driving down to Rochester, actually. Started talking with Peterborough there after a game on the Friday. Trade deadline was a Saturday, and I was going down to see my nephew for the first time. So I thought it was just a small little get together. No, it was a full-fledged family function. There had 3 other birthdays on his wife's side, so it was a full his Father's Day. It was a whole kid caboodle, and I'm just on my phone for 15 hours just pacing in the backyard, right? But anyways, so we wanted to do a multi-piece trade. We wanted just with Coltrane getting hurt, looking to get a lefty. Obviously, Deacon was of interest as well, along with Trumbull was just some pieces. Him and Sarah, they've played together before, and it was a lot of back and forth. We were looking at a lot of other things as well.
Johnny says a lot of back and forth. I was in San Diego at the time, coaching a team Hong Kong, and I'm 3 hours ahead, so it's early for me, and he calls me. It's 9 a.m. my time, and he's already going. It's 1 hour. He called me, and then it's 45 minutes. Calls me back. He must have called me 7 times. Yeah. So his deal is going back and forth. Because then call me, and then he goes back, right? Yeah. To Peterborough, and they don't want to do this. It's they only no. He's I know we got to get that. It's so the amount of work behind the scenes is something that people don't know, and what he won't tell people either.
That and especially deadline too, because there's a time. Yeah. It's not we worked on this for 2 months, which is still a lot of work.
Yeah.
You put in 2 months of work essentially in 24 hours or whatever, a couple days, right? And then again, sellers trying to get everything they can for a big ticket item, and teams are trying to give as little as possible to get a big ticket item. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Hope's probably will tell you he was freaking sick of me by 11 p.m. that night. But wear him down. Can't stand you, right? Yeah. But
FaceTime call with them.
Yeah.
Already
an extra player.
But you know what? Hey, it's. I think it worked out. Oh, it worked out. But for both, and again, it's tough, and Gervais was great for us too, right? And he was, he was a big part of our team, and that was it's tough to do that, right? And there are tough conversations, and even with McCumber, those are tough conversations, and having to call them after, that's the tough part of the job. Happy that, they're getting to be at a place there where, they're both got years left, and Peterborough's going to be really strong next year. So, and closer, to them. And then, we couldn't be happier with Trumbull and Deeks, and Thompson. Yeah, the boys were great. Everything about it, even the Nepean guys that came down, it was, everyone bought in. It was really cool to see. That was part of the worry as well, changing too much, right? And tinkering too much, right? And that was Dan's my job to kind of manage that, right? But it was really cool to see how everyone kind of put egos behind each other or behind them, and just got in front of each other, and yeah, it was really cool.
We'll go through what it was like. I mean, like going out there, it seemed like watching the games, it was like you guys were finding your stride. Like I saw how you guys played against Orangeville. It's like that's almost a huge high, and then you're getting there, and it's almost like for the first couple games, like it wasn't a full complete game, whether it was like a back end or front end more dominant game, or there was different runs or things like that. Like, how did you guys feel the round robin games went, and then how did you kind of feel going into the final?
Yeah, like no I guess discredit to any of the teams that were there, but we've talked about it and other people have mentioned it. Like you just said, like I feel like we didn't get to that level. At least it took a while, and like there's all these the adversity that we saw on the way, just from the flight getting canceled. It's supposed to be Friday night, then Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Half our team flies to Calgary. The other half flies in a little bit later. Then we get a bus, and the bus goes right to the arena for practice. And then we finally let the guys get back to the hotel by 7 p.m. that night. And then we're waking up and it's game day. And then we're figuring out the schedule. And
these guys are ready for the LL.
Yeah.
Well, we actually had to go to a meeting after that. There was the league or the tournament meeting after. Practice is done. Yeah. Boys get to the hotel. Danny, we got to go back.
I was grumpy to say.
Yeah, we weren't trying to be arrogant. Yeah, there's some subs. It's like we weren't trying to be coming across the area. We were very tired. But yeah, it's a different beast out there, for sure, right? And dealing with the time change. Also, just how they play is a little bit different in Alberta and BC, right? So how they call things are a little bit different.
Even the rulings were a
little bit different for this.
I guess it's CLA, right? Like
CLA,
yes. You guys were playing, which OLA kind of went like NLL. Is CLA still like in this
one? Yeah. So it's crazy, right? It's still that it's not standardized across, but again, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so there's
streaming issues.
The fact that we had to pay.
No. Yeah. I was gonna throw a little dagger and say, yeah, out west it looks like they let them actually step in the crease when they play.
Well, that was one of the biggest topics. It was that in the initial meeting we're talking about, like the referee in chief's like, if there's a controversial crease call, we are going to err on the side of a goal.
Yeah, tied to the runner.
Tie goes to the runner.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that's what they want, more goals.
The thing I found confusing, because in junior it's the cylinder rule, right? Like you can't be over it.
OLA.
Yeah. But so and it was like guys I feel like when I was watching that, I saw guys scoring way more crease stabbing goals than I ever remember in junior.
They were allowing the Superman cross dive. They weren't going to allow they were allowing the Curtis Dixon, not the Callum Crawford. If that makes sense. Yeah. It was a lot to learn, and then just getting used to the new players, and Coquitlam takes down all of their video right from their streaming platforms. Right, and
just checkers there.
Yeah, and it's the same. They were both behind paywalls, so and then we're trying to do our homework there and getting used to the referees. 4 Alberta refs, 1 BC, 1 Ontario. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff for us to get used to, and then our players getting used to the travel. Some they're asking they've been on a flight once before in their life. It's like something you just don't think of.
Yeah, half field trip on the way there.
Everyone's been on flights.
Yeah. What do you mean you never had a canceled flight before? This is nothing. Some guys went to the airport on the Friday thinking it was still going to happen. We're like, no, Billy, it's canceled.
It's really only one person. It was only one person, but we're not. Yeah, we won't throw that out there.
George Costanza just kept showing up to work even though he was fired.
Yeah, that was a whole other part of it, right? Yeah, just getting everybody organized and.
The food was a big one. So we had at our hotel, and Sean gets them to put together this big buffet, and everybody eats together. It's great. But what we don't think is going to have to be an issue is watching how much they're eating or what they are eating. So first day there's mac and cheese and a beef chili. Boys are doubling it up, mac and cheese with chili on top.
Oh,
and
yeah,
some are going
cookies or
2, 3, 4 plates of that.
Yeah.
And some of them are eating half a dozen.
Right, some of our guys can do it, right? Some can't, right? But that's definitely, and it's gonna.
That's new. We can coach them at the buffet line. Right?
And we're not leading by example either, right? It's like, oh, hey, fellas, like,
We want to put the chili on top.
yeah. That's exactly what happened too. It's like Keeks, gotta put the chili on. Yeah. So
adversity, a little bit of adversity. That's good though.
But you know what? Everyone was great to us out there. It was great having Bob and Fiona Cleveley helping us organize. Obviously, they have a lot of experience going out there to these things, and helped a lot. Helped me navigate. Because that's a whole other piece of it too, right? Because I was out there just by myself, kind of from that role until later. So it was great having them kind of help me navigate that. But is that kind of the food situation kind of leads to a fun story here? Should we talk about the Impossible Burger?
Oh yeah, please do.
All right.
So yeah, we just had coaches go out, and I think it was the first day most of the wives and girlfriends came out. Like, oh, we'll go to the mall. West Edmonton Mall is like 6-7 minutes from where we're staying. And we go to the Earls. The boys are all there.
Well, so this is where we've been having the hotel buffet a lot, and Brownie's all over me. He's like, the guys are complaining. They want the stipend. Go eat somewhere else. Like, all right, Brownie, I hear you now. All right, so we give them food stipends for lunch and dinner that day. Anyway, so this is the first meal that now we're on our own, and so we go to the Earls. So the coaches are all sitting there. I'll let you kind of.
I think this was after we had come in first in the round robin.
We just
boys had celebrated a little bit the night before, and nobody's thinking clearly, and we're all ordering weird things. So Crep orders the clam chowder.
him and Keith.
You're in the prairies.
Gil gets the oysters and chicken wings.
Oysters and wings.
And chicken wings. I forget what I had something crazy too. But it was coffee, Caesar.
Oh yeah,
pop
Mount Rushmore drinks, right?
And
Still drink tour.
Brownie looks at the menu and he's like, it's like somebody else ordered a burger, and then he's like, yeah, I'll have the Impossible Burger.
Well, we don't know what he got, right? We didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
So one of our trainers gets a cheeseburger, and it comes out, right? And I'm not looking like, we're at Earl's here. We just had you can get anything else, a cheeseburger and fries, and Brownie's like, oh no, it's a trainer. Okay, I'm like, Brownie must have got something better than that. He's like, they're like, the Impossible Burger, and he's like, yep. And we look at him, we're like, Kev, because he's completely against all that stuff.
Yeah.
He is strongly against all that stuff, but he didn't know what it was. He thought it was
The term
he
Impossible.
thought it was
It's impossible how good this is.
It's impossible.
It must be bacon, onion rings.
It's like, I thought that little thing that's right beside it meant it was a favorite, like it was a restaurant favorite. No. So
His wife's down the other end. She's got steak frites.
it just keeps getting better. And he's talking to himself. He's like, I'm so against this. And then his wife comes over. She's like, oh my God, babe, we're so against this. And just keep rolling. She's repeating. And then it's like, well, what'd you get? She's like, I got the steak. Oh, it's like, oh, that's great. So then me and Crep are just going at him the whole.
Impossible Kev.
Impossible Kev. Yeah.
That's he's gonna love the 2 shoutouts he got on this thing so far. But,
Yeah.
so I mean, after that, you guys obviously wrapped up the round robin. Then, what is the feeling going into the final? Is there? I mean, obviously you guys are through it now. Is there just a boatload of injuries? Are guys just kind of beat up and what's the attitude of the guys going into it?
Yeah, there was some injuries, a lot nothing that was crazy, but there was area for concern for sure. So the extra day off was massive. We had 2 trainers come out.
Well, we brought our team doctor. Jeff Weeksy came out, so you guys all know Weeksy. So he came out, and then obviously it helps having Kev's also Cairo. So he brought all his stuff out too, right? So it was great having that many hands and just that much expertise helping prepare us, and getting that additional day.
Yeah, I don't know how common the knowledge was, but or if If Princeton wants to hear this, but yeah, like Braden Saris had like the Kavanaugh hamstring thing going on.
Is that
fake
what it was?
external hamstring. He tweaked his hamstring. I don't know how bad it was, like exactly, but they had the rubber band on the outside to pull down or act like his hamstring. So guy was the OLA playoff MVP. So obviously a pretty important part, and ended up scoring the double OT winner for us in the first game. So there was a lot of that stuff. Thompson pretty banged up, guys with some broken digits, broken fingers, that sort of thing. Deacon cramping up all over the place. So yeah, the extra day off was massive.
Yeah, it was it was good that we had the numbers too, right? Like we didn't keep the same lineup going the whole Minto, right? We had guys, and that's why we were lucky to have that availability and just with the skill and the depth that we had, right? I think that's what helped us in the playoffs. If you look at our roster, right, we had a lot of guys that came in and out, right? So we were able to rotate that, and we had trust enough in our guys to when they got called in to step up and play, right? So very very fortunate on that end. But it's always it's tough to always say there's no pressure, right? Because going into a 3-game series, all right, game 1, no pressure, but it's easier said than done. But I think that's how we went into the game 3 against Coquitlam. Same deal, right? It's not do or die here. No pressure. Let's just play our game, try to get through it, right? We lose, all right. We got a tougher road, but hey, we've always stepped up to adversity, right? So that was kind of the mentality in game 1, and then game 2. All right, now there's zero pressure because all right, we'll lose this one. Okay, we'll go again tomorrow, right? So. Not saying that there wasn't a sense of urgency, but just it helps kind of calm. That's what I was telling myself, anyways, up in the stand.
Coaches before the game.
Let's get out of here. But, I don't know. I mean, obviously, throughout both those games or the first game, it's you got your back and forth, and there's a lot going on. And I had a few of the guys over, and we had a little watch party outside. We're screaming, yelling. It was. It was something I won't forget. I don't think ever. It was a pretty exciting game, but you're going into game 2, and you guys it's back and forth. Like you come out hot, back and forth, gets tight, then you guys pull away. Obviously as a coach, you're trying to keep everyone involved. You're a little bit away from that. Are you pacing? What's your
Lukey. So Lukey was actually my right hand man up in the stands there. Nick was about 6 feet. He was right in enemy territory with a notepad, mixing it in with the Coquitlam fans the whole time. I had to go over there. One of the moms came at him like, "What are you standing here for?" Right? But he's standing his ground to where he stood the whole tournament. Right? We didn't change any of that tradition. That's where he sat. Lukey beside me, up a couple down. But yeah, there was some paces. There was a really big fan up there that kept me cool. I was right beside an industrial fan.
Physical fan.
But no. The security guy Bruce is great. Yeah, but no, those. But so that was obviously it's tense to be up in the stands versus being on the bench. That was one of the bigger things to get used to, right? Because I found I was a lot more calm there when I'm on the bench than when I'm up there. I'm a lot more reactive. Dan probably gets that too when I come in between periods, right? It's so that took a lot. So that was it was definitely a little challenging for myself to keep myself together. But I'll let Dan talk about the bench.
Yeah, the pull away in game 2 was crazy because in game 1 we're down 2. Yeah. Right, and then Will McLeod scores back-to-back goals there under 4 minutes or under 3 minutes to go. And it was funny. Will and I had a heated exchange earlier in that game in the second period when he wanted to talk to somebody after one of his shots, and he's the closest guy to the door, and the team's running the other way. So Will's a guy you can talk to like a man. That's how I told him, and he goes out there and responds. So that was kind of our MO in the some of those Mimico games, Orangeville games. We're down 2 late in the game, and guys just found a way to come back. So doing that in game one, and then game two, like we started that in the back of your mind. You're like, okay, we come back, but you know what? Another team can always come back, and like you've been in those games, like in Man Cup, you've seen like anything can happen.
You don't always want to be that guy come from behind, but also
Yeah.
it can happen to you too.
Yeah, especially in the biggest of games, right? So you're like, calm down. Okay, everybody, like, calm down. What's the next face-off? Okay, what's the next 30 seconds? What's the next possession? What do we got to be ready for? And then it was like, we just kept scoring. I was like, okay, what the hell? And then it was another one. And then it was like, Brooksy scored the behind the back.
I think that at that point it was like, okay.
It was that.
So I stopped pacing after that. I
And then
tearing
the
up
next
a bit
face
there,
off,
right?
like Samard blows the guy up and our bench erupts again. After I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah,
calm.
take a
I
step
think we're
back.
at 3 or 4. And then it's like, then you just kind of let the emotions wave and let Brownie was like, we're gonna do this, and I was like, I wasn't telling him to shut the hell up. Yeah, so the rest is history.
So I guess, I mean, we'll kind of just wrap this up in a few minutes, but what's it like after? What's it like you guys all kind of hugging each other, thinking about kind of, you know, the culmination of all those years? You know, I'm sure that there was times when you guys would meet in this, you know, leading up to the season and say, you know, the goals of Minto, and, you know, you probably firmly believed it, but, you know, doing that 5 times, and then it's like you're actually there and you've reached exactly what you wanted to do. Like, what were the thoughts that kind of went through your head?
Yeah. So, you know, obviously, yeah, has been the goal, and, you know, getting close to it, you know, for so many years, right? It's, you know, and then finally getting close to it this year. And then once getting it done, you know, for myself, it was tough to even, I was trying to kind of live in the moment, but it was kind of tough for myself personally. Like, it was just really, it was weird. It was a lot different winning it as a player than in this role. You know, it was, yeah, I was just thinking, well, why don't we have 2 or what? It's like, it was tough to even just kind of embrace it. It wasn't until after I came home, and then I went out east to Nova Scotia with visit my family. My brother was out there, his nephew, and I could actually take a breath and kind of realize what happened. Right? It's kind of tough because, you know, then you're partying, and then now we're in the airport trying to get everybody home, and it's like, all right, gotta get back to work, and then it's just like, well, what the hell just happened this past 10 days? What the hell happened this past summer? Right? Because it just consumes you so much. I know we talked about that before, Paulie. Like, you come off this high that's like, you know, you're going, you get it. Oh shit, you know, and it's, you know, it's almost depressing almost, where you're like, you don't really know what to feel about it, right? Like, it's like you should feel accomplished, but you're like, you're a bit lost, right? So, yeah, it's, I was still kind of working through that when I was out east, and, you know, but now like seeing the boys yesterday, we went golfing. I beat crap.
87.
Low,
Yeah.
5-year low.
Yeah.
Yeah. But getting together with Keeks and Crep and MJ, and Curbs, and then Brownie, a couple of, so, you know, it's just like we hadn't seen each other. It's just like, oh man, it's pretty cool now. And then we got to kind of relive it. Then it's like, oh man, that's kind of cool what we did, right? And so, and celebrating it a little bit now, right? It's like you can kind of reflect on it. But yeah, just after the first kind of week or so, it was just kind of in a blur. Not really sure how to feel.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, when you're like, okay, get in the huddle, or like the whole week you're like thinking, what's next. I had these like words echo into my mind, like while you're on the floor. I remember a coach in Calgary there, Kurt Milosky, who oddly enough showed up for game 1 of the Minto to watch his son, and may not have been helping with some of the play calls from the stands, but I remember what he kept saying in Calgary after one. He's like, just stay in the room as long as you can with your teammates. Right? I was like, all right. At some point, I was like, I was just thinking that, I'm like, boys, let's get in the room. Like, family, we're all out there. Like, families that flew, all friends that flew in. It was great. We all shared it out on the floor, and then I was like, let's get in the room, get everybody in the room. And I think some videos that aren't allowed to be posted because some kids are still at school, but that's some of the best times. Like, guys that ever won championships, you think about like just the boys in the room, everybody that battled, champagne spraying everywhere, and, you know, some of the famous songs are going. So that's some of the stuff you remember. But as far as sinking in, I don't think it is. Like Shawnee said, it takes a while. But whenever you do see people that like are involved in the community or from the team, and they start talking about it, that's a really energizes me, and it reminds you why you put in all the hours, and it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. So I hadn't seen Dan in like 10 days. I saw him like someone by my office. I saw him like we're both smiling at each other. Like, why don't we both smile? It's kind of weird, right? But it's
Yeah,
like,
Sean didn't smile the whole time after we won.
yeah.
You say good job.
Yeah.
Am I allowed back?
Yeah.
Now it's the expectation.
Yeah, but again, really, really cool, to make it full circle and to have so many people out there that have been, that we've been battling with, like Curbs and Danny, but his folks were out there and Gare and, and all the people that kind of came along the way, right? And, Kev, with his dad coaching a bunch of these guys, and again, Rob and him battling, kind of us Oakville versus Burlington, and then now kind of bringing it all in full circle, and the rest of the staff. Like, it's just a really cool story, and so many people are involved with it. Paulie, yourself. We have there's a lot of history linking all of us.
It's just like
It's bizarre.
so many years of so many different stories.
Yeah.
And that story that somehow came together by winning this Minto, which I think is again, at some point,
Yeah.
probably not next week, but in years to come, you're just gonna be like, that was wild. I mean, hopefully there's way more of them, but it's just again, I think when we kind of got involved in this, that was obviously the goal, but then it happens, it's just I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
I can't believe we did it.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for the Netflix mockumentary.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, back of the bird. And yeah.
We get the IDE transfer over. But yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of. I don't know if there's anything else we want to touch on. We've had you guys for a couple hours here, so.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. The only thing
We get the weed going around.
Yeah.
Take it in Rogan style.
Yeah. Only thing I just want to, just make sure to revisit just want to thank everybody that kind of helped us along the way, whether it just be a small donation or the larger ones, or the people that stepped in and been helping us since day one, or whether you just helped us in the Minto, right? It means so much. It helped relieve so much pressure from us, management and staff and stuff. And, it just made things a lot smoother. So we couldn't, it's a thankless position, that a lot of our volunteers do, and have done it for so many more years than we've been involved too, right? So guys like PD and, we can't thank them enough, and then all the fans and just the people, all the corporations that help sponsor us. It's just cool. It's just really cool. Not a lot of people know what the hell the Minto is, and a lot of people just stepped up just because whether they know us through work or through different walks of life. But it's really special, and just kind of really makes it that much better. So really appreciate that. I want to give a thanks.
For sure. I mean, it's cool. It's hopefully we're kind of getting to the time now, and at least I like to think back to when I was in junior, even probably when you were in junior, Dan, you guys I would imagine a lot less people knew what the Minto was, and now it's getting to the point where you're seeing a Barstool article about it, or you're seeing these things and these games are out there, and then it's getting posted. It's becoming a thing, and it's I think a lot more people are starting to really understand the depth of the passion that goes into this. So obviously, huge shout out to you guys. And, I know the upper management really feels passionate about the job you guys did, so the brass is happy over here. And thanks for taking the time. It's been pretty sweet.
Good first run here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully this all goes well. I think we may have to schedule a nice little round table again.
Same time next year?
Same time next
Okay,
year.
perfect.
Maybe we'll do a Christmas special here.
Oh, I like that. I got a Santa suit, so we can.
Yeah, I do too. The full Santa. You guys can wear the clown costumes for work.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for taking the time, boys, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, take care.